Hey folks, welcome you all to a new video. This is CA Ganesh Bharadwaj. And in this video, I am going to share with you the last 75-day study plan for your CA Inter Jan 2025 exams, right? And trust me guys, in this video, I am going to break down things in a very simple and an easy to understand manner and prove to you that even if you start your preparation right now, you will be able to clear definitely one group for sure. You can comfortably finish one group for sure. Both the groups, it depends on your present level of preparation. I am talking about starting from the scratch, right? Even if you have not prepared at all for your intermediate, one group for sure you can finish, right? Even if you're starting right now. Are you clear with this? So I am going to break things down and I'm going to talk in terms of the number of hours available, your daily study schedule, right, your study plan, and all these things. I will just come up with it, right? So please watch this video till the end. But before that, the main reason why I'm doing this video right now is that in the last couple of days, I have been receiving quite a few messages stating that from students, stating that, sir, somewhere we feel we are stuck. Somewhere we feel that we are not able to progress forward. So whatever we have planned for, we are not able to accomplish it properly. So can you come up with some kind of a study plan, or can you just motivate us? These are certain regular type of messages that I've been getting the last few days. So I thought, fine. So let me just come up with a video and tell you guys that, look, you have a lot of time. The only problem is we think we don't have time. That is number one. And number two, just because you have some lot of time, it doesn't mean that you can waste. Please balance between the two. Time is not a constraint at all, my friend. Plan your execution properly in such a way that you are making the best use of the time available. And in this video, I'm going to give you a daily schedule also, right? So at what time of a day you can study and all, of course, that you can also customize it based on your convenience, right? So now let's get started. Now I'm recording this video on the 24th of October, right? Let's say I publish this video on the 25th of October, right? Starting from 26th of October till your 8th of Jan, right? Your exams, your CA Inter Jan attempt, it starts, the group 1 starts on 11th of Jan, and group 2, I think it starts on 17th of Jan, right? So this is as per your timetable given by our institute, right? So till 8th of Jan, I'm saying, so 26th October to 8th of Jan. If you see overall, you have about 75 days exactly, right? Just a minute. Yes. So 6 days in October, right? 30 days in November, 31 days in December, and 8 days in Jan. Overall, you have 75 days altogether, right? Now, let us say weekly you are taking 1 day off, right? That is basically, I am even providing for contingencies. Let's be very conservative when we are preparing a budget. Now, effectively, you've got 65 days with you, 65 study days effectively, right? And per day, let's say you are able to clock 12 hours per day, right? Now 65 into 12, you have a total of 780 study hours available with you. Now, so 12 hours a day, how I can do? It depends on your time management. Again, I will tell you, by taking sufficient breaks itself, you will be able to achieve this 12 hours easily, right? 10 to 12 hours depending on your level of preparation. But easily it is achievable. Of course, you are having 75 days. The last 75 days, if you're able to clock this comfortably, you can finish one group. Easily you can finish one group, and I will prove it right in front of you, right? So now, as I told you, your group 1 exam starts on the 11th of Jan and group 2 starts on the 17th of Jan. So if you are a student who's only going to write group 2, in that case, you will be having some little more extra time. I'm not even providing for that. If you add that, then you will have little more time as well, right? So now, if you see, I told you guys, I'm going to prove it to you that even if you were to start from the scratch, if you're going to start your preparation from the scratch, even in that case, 75 days is more than sufficient for you to crack one group. Now, sir, how is it possible, sir? Now, I'll just walk you through this. Now, if you see, guys, now on an average, let's say you're taking a regular lecture. Yes, if you want, you can watch lectures, or you can also do a self-study, right? Now, if you are taking a regular lecture, on an average, generally, for a full 100-mark paper, on an average, right, per subject, the duration of the lecture is going to be 150 hours. right? So if you are taking for one group, like that is if you're taking for if you're taking lectures for all the subjects in a group, so 150 into 3, that is going to be 450 hours of lecture content time alone is there, right? So you need to spend 450 hours for watching the lectures, right? Now as per our budget, you have a total of how many hours? 780 study hours available. Out of that, you are utilizing 450 hours for watching the lectures, which means the balancing figure, right, is the total time available. 330 hours you have totally for what? For revising the particular subjects. Are you clear with this? Or this is per group, or in other words, if you look at it per subjects, 450 divided by 3, every subject you have 150 hours to watch the particular lecture, and 330 by 3, you have further 110 hours to revise whatever you have studied. When I say revision, this time also includes practicing numerical problems and all of that, right? Now per subject, you have a time of 260 hours if you are attempting one group alone in your JAN attempt. Now you tell me guys, is time a constraint for you? Absolutely not. You have a lot of time, just that number one, you have the fear that you don't have the time, and thinking about the fact that you don't have time itself is actually burning all your time. So just don't do all that, right? Practically, I'm just putting all these things right in front of you. I'm giving 10 days of buffer, and even after that, the effective study time, I'm telling you, you've got 260 hours per subject, 150 hours. Even if you want, you can watch a regular lectures from the scratch, right? And further on top of it, 110 hours, you have a self-study time for revising whatever you have learned, plus practicing all the sums, or maybe whatever in case of theoretical subjects, maybe revising or maybe practicing the past exam questions, and all of that you can do. So tell me guys, 260 hours of solid time you have per subject. Can't you pass one group in the next 75 days? It is 100% a possibility, right? Now, most of us, we only have this fear. Oh my God, I just have 75 days. Now break it down into the total number of hours. See the total required hours. See the total available hours. Now it will all add up, right? So do not fool yourself into the belief that you don't have time. You have the time. It's just that you need to properly execute it, and you need to manage your time really well in such a way that you are able to properly devote the predominant portion of your time in a day towards your academics. So now, sir, you have prepared all these things, the plan based on the assumption that we can study for 12 hours a day. Sir, is that possible? 12 hours can we study in a day? Absolutely yes, it is possible. I've even seen students who have studied, who prepare for about 14 hours and all that. But roughly 12 hours a day, yes, it is possible, right? Suppose if you feel, sir, I cannot do that, maybe yes, you can spend just about 10 hours a day. Now, if you are spending 10 hours a day, then what will happen? The total time available will be 650 hours. Right? And accordingly, per subject, you will be having 217 hours approximately. So your revision time will reduce, or maybe your lecture time and revision time may be parallelly reducing. Or maybe if you are a person who believes that, sir, I am not going to attend lectures for all the subjects in a group, or I've already prepared one or two subjects very well, I just need some proper guidance for one or two subjects in a particular group. In that case, you can customize it based on your level of preparation. But this one, whatever I've prepared right now, this study plan is being prepared based on the assumption that you are starting from the scratch, and still I'm telling you, it's 100% a possibility that you can crack at least one group in your upcoming JAN attempt. Sir, I'm writing both the groups, sir. In that case, obviously, if you're writing both the groups, some preparation you would have already done for sure, right? Then accordingly, you customize your total plan. The total time available will be the same, right? So the time required for subjects, you plan it based on your present level of preparation, and you will see you will still be having sufficient time to crack both the groups in case you have already prepared well for your, or you've decently prepared as on date for your JAN attempt. Now, coming to the main part, sir, how are you saying that we have 12 hours a day? So how can I study for 12 hours a day? Now, in my opinion, if you were to plan your day, this plan should not start at the beginning of the day. Rather, it should start on the previous night itself. It depends on when you go to your bed. Now, this is an ideal study plan which I would any day recommend for anyone to follow. Yes. So this is a study plan which I'm coming up with in a particular day. How do you spend your time effectively in order to get the maximum benefit out of it, right? So I would always prefer starting your preparation or starting your your study time early in the morning than in spending late night for your academics, for a simple reason that it is scientifically proven that if you are spending time in the morning towards anything that is productive, right, so it will give you 2x or 3x, it will give you 2 times or 3 times more the focus than you actually require or than you actually take during the rest of the day, right? This is something that is time tested, but nevertheless, now let's say you're going to bed at 9 p.m, right, and you're waking up in the morning at 5 p.m. I am not compromising on the sleep. You get solid 8 hours of sleep. Sir, 9 to 5 and all, 9 o'clock who will go to bed? If you want a very good and a proper result in your exam, and if you are devoted towards whatever is your goal right now, your Jan attempt, right, maybe try this, right? If not, yes, maybe you can customize it based on your convenience, but I would say this is a very ideal thing to follow. Here and there, based on your convenience, you can definitely tinker it based on whatever is kind of you find it convenient. But yes, this is what I have just come up with. So 9 to 5 you sleep, right? The next half an hour getting ready, you're brushing and all that. 5:30 to 7:30, 2 hours continuously you study. Now the first 2 hours is done. By 7:30, 2 hours of study time is already done, right? So 7:30 to 8, half an hour, you take a break. Basically, you can have your breakfast at that time. 8 to 10, right? Another 2 hours you've got, right? Come and study. Another 10 to 10:30, you get another break. Then 10:30 to 12:45, that is 2 hours, 15 minutes, you study once again. Sir, why this 12:45 and all? I will tell you, right? Now take 1 hour break. 12:45 to 1:45, you take a break, right? So why this 45 and all you have brought in? Because 12:45 to 5 is ideally your exam time. This is the time during which you will be writing your exams in Jan, right? Now practice it starting from today. When you are starting your preparation, make sure that you are at the peak of your productivity between 1:45 p.m. and 5 p.m. because let's say this 1:45 to 5 p.m. right now when you're preparing every day, let's say during this time 1 hour you're sleeping. Now your human body, it will automatically tend to take rest during that time, even when you are writing the exam. And at that point of time when you're writing the exam, suddenly all of a sudden you can't bring that productivity in you, right? It requires some practice. Now if you see Sachin Tendulkar, right, the god of cricket, now before he took his 100th century, he took a lot of time to actually, I think 1.5 years he took between his 99th century and 100th century, right? That 1 century, it took some time. He realized that it was because of some pressure or something like that. You know what he did? He went and he played first class cricket, Ranji cricket, an international player, right? He went and he played. Why do you think he did that? Is it because he wanted to learn cricket? No. He felt that there is a need to practice. He wanted to master whatever thing that he felt he was lagging in at that point of time. He just said, let me practice during this time. And he came back. Now he came back with multifold, and yes, he did whatever he wanted to do, right? Now, if this was the case for a legend like Sachin Tendulkar, now we are just ordinary human beings. So now guys, trust me, right now when you're preparing, practice your productivity during this 1:45 to 5. No compromises on that, right? So during the other part of the day, maybe if you want, you can just customize it based on your convenience. This part of the day is actually set for everyone. If you plan like this, you will be able to go and write your exams in the best possible manner, and exam is just going to be another day for you, right? So that's about it. Then 5 to 6 is going to be a break, right? And 6 to 8:30, you can once again have your study time, 2.5 hours, and 8:30 to 9, you can just have some break and all that, and then you can just go to bed, right? Now, there are some people who might feel, sir, then dinner we'll have at 8:30 and then we'll immediately go to sleep. If you want, in between this, you can take a dinner time and accordingly compensate on that. That's why I said based on your convenience, you can do it. But this part alone, do not touch. Now, if you look at this, 2 hours here, you have another 2 hours, then 2 hours, 15 minutes, 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 2.5 hours. So 5 slots in a day, and that adds up to a total of 12 hours a day. Are you clear with this, guys? Right? And absolutely this is sufficient. Now at a time I am asking you to spend only 2 hours, right? Except for that exam time, which is not a choice. Even in the exam, on your exam days, you don't have the choice. You need to spend that much time. But 2 to 2.5 hours maximum is what I'm asking you to spend in a single slot. That too with sufficient breaks in between. And that too given the fact that weekly 1 day you're taking off, right? Weekly 1 day you're taking off. This 10 days of break is nothing but 10 weeks. 1 day per week is a break that I've allotted for. Now you tell me, guys, with sufficient breaks in a day and with sufficient break in a week, still you have about 780 hours. And if you are a person who is writing one group and starting from the scratch, per subject you have 150 hours to watch the lecture. On top of it, 110 hours to revise and practice the particular subject. In total, you have 260 hours per subject. You tell me, guys, is this difficult to crack? Is this difficult to crack? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And one more thing I want to tell you. Now, every single day, it might not go as per the plan, right? So this 260 hours you have per subject is quite huge for the last 75 days. It's very huge, right? It's decent. It's like pretty big, because obviously right now you might think that you will be starting from the scratch, but you definitely know certain things, right? So you might not need this much time also. So basically what happens is, if at all 1 or 2 days in between, over and above whatever we had budgeted for, 1 or 2 days doesn't go well, it's absolutely okay. Do not get bogged down by it, because today if you're not feeling well, what we think is feeling well as in mentally, I'm saying, right? We tend to, we human beings, we have this tendency. We feel that, oh my God, my future is doomed, so this is how it is going to be. No, do not carry that emotion and magnify it in such a way that, okay, so I'm going to feel like this forever. Absolutely not. If one day you're not feeling well, it's okay. Close your books and you just go what you just like to do. But come back more stronger. Your comeback should be stronger than your setback, right? Come back more stronger. It should only make you work even more productive in the next day, right? I'm not asking you to, one day I'm not feeling well, I'm just closing down. The next day, once again, the same thing gets repeated over and over. It doesn't work that way, guys. It doesn't work that way. 1 or 2 days here and there, it's fine. Don't go too hard on yourself. But trust me, guys, you all are doing an amazing work, right? 1 or 2 days here and there will be like this. You don't have to worry about it. Just stay focused on your process. And trust me, guys, even if you are starting from the scratch, you still have a lot of time, right? And you can do it. You can do it, right? So on that note, I am signing off in this video. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.